If Hamas loses every war, why does it always come back stronger? The answer is not ideology, it is incentives. And incentives can be changed deliberately. So let's be clear about what should happen next. Step 1. Identify the real problem. What Israel is preparing for is not another emotional round of fighting. It is an attempt to break a cycle that has existed for nearly 2 decades. Hamas loses militarily, survives politically, and then gets paid to rebuild. Hamas is not recovering because it is popular. It is recovering because it is liquid. Since the fighting paused, Hamas has not rebuilt homes or hospitals. It has rebuilt command networks, tunnel access points, and recruitment pipelines. Most of its new fighters are not ideological zealots. They are young men responding to the only functioning labor market left in Gaza, armed groups that pay cash. Step 2. Expose the aid illusion. That cash does not come from Iran alone. It comes from the international system. Aid entering Gaza does not bypass Hamas. It moves through an ecosystem Hamas controls. Transportation, warehousing, distribution, protection, taxes. Hamas does not govern Gaza, it farms Gaza. Humanitarian relief has been turned into a payroll. This is not corruption at the margins, it is the business model. Step 3. Reject governance without disarmament. We are now hearing about boards, committees, technocrats, and reconstruction plans. That all sounds impressive, but here is the reality. There are still no serious discussions about Hamas disarming. Hamas says it is willing to hand over control to a so-called technocratic committee. That sounds like progress until you understand what it actually means. It means Hamas keeps the guns and hands over the paperwork. Someone else handles the utilities. Someone else manages salaries. Someone else provides the optics. Hamas keeps power on the ground, free to intimidate, tax, and rebuild without the burden of governance. This is not moderation, it is camouflage. Phase 2 only works if disarmament comes first. Otherwise, governance becomes a mask for Hamas's recovery. A committee without disarmament does not end the war, it just freezes it. Step 4. Deny regeneration space. This phase is not about conquering Gaza or holding it indefinitely. It is about denying Hamas the spaces that allow it to regenerate. Gaza City matters not as a symbol, but as infrastructure. Urban centers are where insurgent organizations hide leadership, logistics, and financial nodes inside civilian density. As long as Hamas retains an urban capital, it retains the ability to reconstitute itself. That has to end. Step 5. Use the operational opening. For the first time since October, Hamas no longer has meaningful hostage leverage. That removes its most effective asymmetric weapon and frees Israeli planning from artificial constraints. That freedom should be used decisively, not deferred. Step 6. Abandon strategic fantasies. No board, no committee, and no international authority will disarm Hamas on Israel's behalf. That fiction has collapsed and policy needs to catch up to the reality. Which leads to the most important step, Step 7. Apply pressure where it actually matters. This is where Trump should come in. Not because of what he is doing yet, but because of what only he is positioned to do. Hamas survives because external enablers believe funding terrorism carries no cost. Several of those enablers rely heavily on the United States. Military protection, banking access, trade relationships, political shielding. Those are leverage points. Funding Hamas while relying on the United States must become incompatible, not rhetorically, practically. That means ultimatums, timelines, consequences, cut aid, restrict financial access, delay arms transfers, expose duplicity where lines are crossed. This is the kind of pressure Trump knows how to apply. Institutions hate it, but it works. Step 8. Align pressure. Israeli military pressure and American financial pressure must operate together. One without the other prolongs the conflict. Together, they impose real cost. This is how wars actually end, not through declarations, through affordability. Israel handles the battlefield, Washington handles the balance sheet. One final note, while many organizations boycott Israel, I choose to support it. Iron Dome Coffee is genuinely great coffee and a real business worth backing. Supporting Israel should not be symbolic, it should be practical. Back to it, this war ends when Hamas cannot afford to exist. Share this if you want the war to actually end.